everybody to BestieFinder's office hours. I am Dean Kathy, and I am here with my besties. Dr. Lisa, what's going on, Dr. Lisa? Dr.
Hey,
Carmen.
Hey, how's
Hey,
it going?
hey, Coach. Now y'all like Coach.
Hey, hey, Kathy.
I mean, I do. I just have to say it like that. I have to say, Coach, right? Because that's when I get out of her what I want, right? That the smile, the giggles, and all of that. So, anyway, guys, welcome to Bestie Finders Office Hours, and we are ready to get started. You guys only get 15 minutes with us, so I won't take it. I won't take up the time. I'll tell y'all what Dr. Lisa said about me yesterday about just my gift. But anyway, go ahead. Dr. Lisa, what we got going on for today?
all right, we have a new Coach Me scenario today, or Coach This scenario, and we're talking about management and teams and getting to know how to deal with the different gifts on your team because we can build it in our heads, we can build the dream team that we want, but when we go to work, we got to manage the team we have today. So here's your scenario.
Mm,
You've got a manager who is really task driven, sees the big vision, knows that A, B, C, D, E, and F have to be done to achieve the goal that we set. And so they're telling everyone what needs to be done. They're working from their checklist and they are checking people if they're not working according to the established plan or not moving fast enough to get to the goal in the time that the manager perceives as what's going to happen. And so you have another team member who feels a little bit overwhelmed by all these changes and wants to work at a more sedate pace. Perhaps that team member is no can tell that others are also feeling overwhelmed and may not be ready to bring those concerns to the manager. So the manager's like, well, we all agree that this is what we're doing. Or even if we didn't agree, this is what we've been told we need to do, and these are the rules we gotta abide by. So we don't have time to babysit emotions. We gotta get the work done. All right. So in our coach this scenario today, how do we help these two team members get on the same boat and go in the same direction?
Hire a teacher. Oh,
well, actually, the best, like, okay, so when you have that task driven um, gift as an administrator, in which we are, right? And that's why I said, that's why I raised my hand. I'm actually trying to do a task while we're doing this right now and share this on Facebook, right? That we are live, okay? But anyway, I would say, as an administrator dealing, you said an administrator manager versus a compassionate team member, right? So when you understand the compassionate team member or the compassionate gifts, if you need it in 2 weeks, you need to tell it to the compassionate person that you need it in 4 weeks. Okay. So because of the fact that they're not as task driven, right? They're not as on that place of let's get up and run and go unless they have a stronger gift or a more dominant gift in their top three. If they don't have that let's get it done type of giftings at the top, they're not in a hurry to get it done. They're going to get it done when they get it done. That's just how they are. And most of the time when I would say to a compassion person, um what I would say to a compassion person, what they would say to me, like if I'm like, okay, this was given to you a week ago. Oh, when will you be done? Because the deadline has passed. Oh, I do it tomorrow. I have it for you tomorrow. Right? That would be like if you're asking them to do something. If you ask them to do something a couple of days ago, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. That was always the answer. When I say not one time, two times, every single time, it's always, oh, okay, I get it to you tomorrow. And tomorrow really turned into still a whole nother week, right? And so, but that's when you learn when you understand those gifts, you give them more than what more time than what you actually, y'all get what I'm saying? I'm just
Yes.
trying to see, give them
Yes.
more time than what is actually needed. Wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute, is that right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I'm saying give it to me, well, I'm going to need it in
4 weeks. You give it to
that's
them in
really
two
your
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means you got to give them 2 extra weeks to get it done. And
Mm-hmm.
who wants to really do that? You know what I'm saying? Not me, really. Not as an administrator, not as a manager. However, when I understand that and the person can do the work and get it done, the way that you want it done, then absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
I would give them that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would give them that extra time, or I'd be like, we need to find. I'm gonna put you on something else, and I find somebody else who can get it done. And that is it. Cut and dry. What you were raising your hand for, Dr. Lisa? What you
So
saying?
I'm gonna. What do we do when we have restrictions? When we can't start a project 2 weeks early to accommodate that compassionate, and our team is fixed, so we can't hand that task off to someone else. What is the next alternative other than the manager doing all the work themselves?
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say you said we can't hand it off to nobody.
Yeah, I mean, we're on a fixed team. We can't hire anybody else or pass that person's work off to another team member. What do we do in that situation when, okay, it's either you do the work or you got to go? Do we just fire all our compassionates?
No, at that point, even though you don't want to take over the job, you're going to have to step in and help them. That's just that. If you don't want to replace them, and if you want to push the project along and get it done at the time that it needs in the time that it needs to be done, you're gonna have to get in there and help them. That's, I mean, period. I've been in that place too, and they like working with people. They like people working beside them, and then you have to, just encourage them to go ahead and move a little faster, and there's different things like that. Yeah, that's just how it is.
Dr.
Anybody else?
Karma. Dr. Karma.
A lot of things are going off in my head. I mean, because Dean Cathy touched on the one thing that I was talking about. The main thing I have to do with the administrator, I was thinking back to when I was at the center and how I was working with some compassion server, giver, different kinds of people in that mix of at least like 7 people that I had to work with. And so I had to resist the urge of saying, okay, you taking too long. Let me go give it to somebody else. And you just be the support staff, when you're feeling overwhelmed. But now that I was thinking like what happened during the planning process, but I guess the planning process had already happened to where, in your head as an administrator teacher, you have a list of things that you need to do. And you like, okay, so-and-so would be better at this, than, like that. But since we passed that point, just mainly resisting the urge to, like my grandma used to say, squat that rabbit and jump another one. Like if they're not doing the job, then just go and find someone who can do it a little bit faster and let them support them when they're doing that job. But it hurts feelings as well. So back to what Dr. Lisa was saying, you have to understand who you're working with, where they are. If they're feeling overwhelmed, I would say, I'm curious as to what part of this makes you feel overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the timeline, if you got 4 weeks, tell them you got only two, but then even that piecemealing it to them, breaking it down into pieces. And then like Dean Cathy said a few weeks ago with the compassionate people, you give them one task, even though there may be five, you give them one, let them complete that one. Be like, okay, great job. Here's another, or here's maybe two, and let them complete that. Give them a sense of accomplishment instead of having them looking at the big picture. They may not be big picture, whole picture, just a little bitty pieces, and then let them complete those. And then, as an administrator, and teachers, we don't babysit emotions. So it's kind of hard to celebrate people along the way. And so that goes back into being intelligent about your gift and their gift as well. So we're all uncomfortable, but still, they still need that support. The ultimate goal, you want them to grow and expand, so
Mm-hmm.
we all have to come outside of ourselves in order to water other ones so they can grow.
I had to clear my throat and put it on mute. Okay, so I'm the compassionate, right? I'm not saying that they talking about me specifically, because I know they would tell me if it was me that they was talking about me specifically, right? But for the compassionate person, we don't want people to feel in pain. And if you feel like you are that weak link, then maybe I want to speak to the compassionate in the growth, right? Speak to them so that we can level up, right? And not be the weak link in the chain, because it hurts to think that we are that person, right? And if you think in terms of, how am I contributing? How am I showing up? Use that to fuel you in moving forward and getting the job done. And just understand that your feelings will come out. Like, they are they are real to you, but they may also be a hindrance to the other people that you really care about, right? So as people are saying you do XYZ, and that's why there's power in knowing these gifts, knowing each person's level of gifts, or just how you resonate, how you show up in the office, at home. It gives you a sense of empowerment to move forward and pass those emotions quicker, right? Whereas it might have taken me a year to not feel that somebody said something against me. Now it might just take me a week, right? It speeds up the
That's real
process.
talk.
It speeds up the process in you being able to move forward, because to the core of who we are as compassionate, we really want success. We really want to be leaders in our heads. We really want to, and the emotions are so real to us that it can be a hindrance. However, when you get that emotional intelligence by using the gifts, it allows you to move forward and getting around the right people who understand the gifts, because it gives you that space to grow, like Dr. Carmel talked about. I love how Dean Cathy is the exhorter, perceiver, and administrator. And it's not like, as a compassionate, I don't feel that perceiver. I know that she understands me, and there is grace and space in, like, allowing my emotions to go. And when she's talking to me straight face, she was like, and I'm crying, I know you got to get it out. And then she's got the straight face. So I'm like, I'm confused. Does she really care? But she really does care. Her face just doesn't show it. So understanding the gifts allows you to understand people and gives
Mhm.
you the power to have grace. So that's my 2 cents with it. Because sometimes when they say them versus the compassion, I'm like, why they keep talking about the passionate? But it's not personal. It's so that we can be
Mhm.
emotionally aware and help each other be successful as a team.
Absolutely. I love what both of you guys have said thus far. And when you're talking about emotional intelligence, that's why the gift intelligence is the thing to be, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so I absolutely appreciate, just what you guys have said. And so, but what I want to say to all of that, for people who do not understand the gifts, that's why they have that's why you are having a hard time, dealing with your constituents, your employees, your co-workers, your family members, your children, your husband. I'm trying to tell you, your friend, just whoever. I'm trying to tell you. So the thing is, for you to understand your gifts, you best take the gift assessment. I'm telling you, and that will begin your journey and on what's a good word, on a more, it'll just increase better relationships. It'll just cause peace in your relationships, right? um More joy, I'm telling you, in your relationships, whatever level that it is. So yeah, because when you don't understand these things, like Dr. Carmel and Coach was just talking about, you will be frustrated to no end. How about I know? Ask me how I know, right? And so, but until I discovered the gifts, did I make some changes, adjust? Clarity came about me and about them. and it has just changed my entire life, y'all. It really has. So, and it's given me pleasure to share it amongst my friends, the ones who, who wanted to know, who wanted to learn. And as you can see, these three that are on here can tell you and testify how it has changed their lives as well, personally and professionally. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Dr. Lisa.
We did a great job today. Thank you for tuning into this Coach This session of Bestie Finders Office Hours. And if you are looking to raise your gift intelligence, you need to see us at bestiefinder.net. And on that note, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.